Hmm. Zygarde. 50% fun. Hi everyone, Scott Pirate Pop Cult fan here, and for this video, I want to do something a little bit different. I went and replayed Pokemon Moon. I've been replaying some Pokemon games leading up to Legends ZA. I know it doesn't come out until later in the fall, but I thought, why not replay Pokemon games that have either featured Mega Evolution or Zygarde or both. And so I've been replaying Pokemon Moon, and that's what this video is primarily going to be about. And also I just started replaying Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So yeah, I'm replaying Pokemon games leading up to Legends ZA. And I mean, I just finished the post game of Moon, and I want to talk about it because I forgot how much I actually enjoyed that game. Pokemon Moon came out back in 2016, like about 11 years, 9 years ago at this point, and it still holds up now. Like even compared to like Nintendo Switch era Pokemon games, I think Pokemon Moon, it tells a much better story, if you ask me, compared to more recent games. I really like the character of Lily. I think, if you ask me, even compared to like Pokemon Black and White, I think the character of Lily, as well as her family, Gladion, and of course Lusamine, just that kind of theming of family dysfunction within the story of Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's a very relatable, and I felt something playing this game, and I haven't felt something playing a Pokemon game, and I haven't felt something playing a Pokemon game in a while. And replaying Pokemon Moon, I had that kind of feeling with characters like Lily, for example, and Gladion, and I felt for them. And also, this is the first Pokemon game where you really feel something for the mascot legendary Pokemon of the game you're playing, because you're following Cosmog, right? The little baby evolution form of either Solgaleo or Lunala, depending on the version you're playing. And you feel for it. You actually feel for it within the journey that you're going on with Lily and also How. And yeah, I mean, the game does have a bit of a slow start. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a bit of a slow start, going through tutorial mode for a good couple hours, and that is a bit of a slog at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie. But once you get past that, I just think that they put so much effort into the Alola region of the little, even in the smallest details in the environment could be a reference to a past Pokemon game, and I really like that about Pokemon Moon and also Sun version. I mainly played Pokemon Moon recently, but yeah, and I also think that the new Z move gimmick that was introduced in these games, it never came back afterwards, but I think it's an okay gimmick. It's all right, and also you get the Professor of Kukui. He's cool. He says things that are kind of funny. He does things that are kind of funny, and I like him as a professor. He's kind of one of the more fun professors, I guess, within the series, and I do like him for that. And also, I think in regards to the battling, it's definitely a lot more fleshed out, if you ask me, compared to Pokemon X and Y. Like, I think the battling feels a lot more lively in Sun and Moon than it does in X and Y. And also, another thing that needs to be addressed about Pokemon Sun and Moon is that they finally gave Zygarde its more like a more prominent kind of, not necessarily like prominent in the story, but more prominent in the gameplay, where you would find Zygarde cells in various locations throughout the world, and eventually when you get like at least 10 of them, you can create the dog 10% form, and then once you get 50 of them, you can get the 50% form that was obtainable in X and Y, and then also once you get all the way up to 100 Zygarde cells and cores, you can create that complete 100% form. And I have not been able to do that yet with my Moon game, because, you know, Zygarde cells can be a bit hard to find, especially when they show up at different times of the day, like morning or night. So I still haven't completed it yet. I think I'm like at like 82 out of 100 now. Even after I did the post-game content with the liquor missions in that one eastern area of Pony Island, even with all those Zygarde cells I found there, it still wasn't enough to get the full 100%. But I like that they incorporated a lot of Zygarde into this particular game, because it didn't get its due in X and Y. Know what I mean? We didn't get a Z, version of X and Y, and I like that. I like that about this game. And also, once you get into the post game, there's like this battle tree facility where you can get battle points, and that's where you can get mega stones. And yeah, Mega Evolution is in this game, but it's in the post game. You can't get Mega Evolution until the post game, and I like the Looker stuff in the post game as well. You know, with Looker and Annabelle. For those of you that don't know, Annabelle was a Battle Frontier character in Ruby and Sapphire, and I liked that aspect of the Looker stuff in the post game. It definitely made it a lot more interesting, and also bringing home this idea of there being other worlds, other multiverses out there, and kind of delving into that concept within a Pokemon game. I think is very fascinating, and they do delve into that more in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I think they did it enough in this particular game to where it doesn't detract from the more personal, relatable themes with Lusamine and her kids. And I think they did enough there to where you want to know more, but you can also kind of guess what is going on with the ultra wormholes, and I like that about Old Sun and Moon, and that kind of grandiose, bigger story going on there. You can imagine what that is, and you don't need to have that explained. You don't, and that's what I really like about Sun and Moon. And also, I think in regards to like gameplay mechanics, there are quite a few things that are more refined in this game compared to X and Y, and I like the quality of life improvements, and also the visuals, and you get like the actual human characters staying in battle with their Pokemon, and out of all the handheld games, this is probably the most like Colosseum and XD in a handheld game kind of format. It's the closest with its style to Colosseum and XD, and I like that. So this game still holds up. I love it. Pokemon Sun and Moon are some of my favorites on the DS or 3DS handheld of systems, next to Pokemon Black and White. My other favorites, Black and White and Sun and Moon, are my top 2 Pokemon games, like ever, if you ask me, within the handheld systems, and I love it. So yeah, I love the game, still holds up. I guess you can kind of say that this is a bit of a review, but I did review this game a long while back on my channel, so I'm mainly kind of just saying, no, it still holds up even now, and I'm looking forward to Legend ZA and how Zygarde will be more prominent, not just with gameplay-wise, but also more prominent in the story. Looking forward to Legend ZA. So, also replaying Pokemon Let's Go Eevee right now, and I'm enjoying it. But yes, so that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.